Hi everybody, it's Amy at Crafty Cat. So today what I thought we would do is what I did yesterday. I was, I don't know, I've been really weird since I got sick. Well, I kind of was before that. Just not feeling very creative. And so, yesterday I just felt like messing with some denim, to make a cover. And this is the cover that I came up with. So I was going to show you kind of more step by step how I got this cover. And so with this cover, I'm going to use my Coffee Drip Fairy digital download. And it's an odd size because I used an old pair of jeans of my daughter's. And so, I could only make it like so long just because of the width of the pant leg and all that kind of stuff. But if you have denim by the yard or something like that, obviously you can make this whatever size you want. You don't have to make it the same size I did. But I will measure it just so that you know what the size is. I'm going to take my little papers and set them there for a moment. So, and you can see these are not square, and so this one's the same thing. See how it's skinnier right here? And again, that's because it's a pant leg, and so I try to square it up a little bit by adding the fabric on the back and all that kind of thing. But I'm not that worried about it. It works fine. So that's the end goal, right? So this is about 12 with all the little bits and stuff hanging out. 12, so then it would be 6 folded in half by almost 7.5 roughly. So yeah, I mean, it is an odd size, but again, if you have enough denim fabric or whatever to make it the normal, I usually do, what is it, 9 by 12? Yeah, so then the pages are 8.5 by 11 folded in half, that whole thing. But this one's just an odd size, and I'm fine with that. But anyway, I wanted to show you kind of what I did. This particular piece of denim had a tear right here. They were, torn jeans. And so I stuffed some little pieces of lace in and threads and all that kind of thing. And then I went around the edges. I cut these parts that you can see there's stitching in here, and I stuffed pieces of lace and thread and just whatever in there. And I've used dish towel to back it, and I used 2 layers, and I used 2 layers because I just really wanted it, see how frayed it gets on the edges, and I just really like that look. So that's what I did. But you could use any kind of cotton fabric, really. I think would work just fine, like sheet or whatever you've got would probably work just fine. And then I dripped all over it with coffee and watercolor. So that's how I got the color on here. And I just stitched all over it. I didn't try to cover this part up. You can see the stitching. But if you want to not see the stitching, I would just do 1 layer of the towel, just 1 layer, do all your stitching and all that on it, then add the second layer of towel and stitch around the outside or something like that. But I like that look, and I like how it kind of almost makes it like a quilted piece, so it's all together, and that's what I like. Oh, some nice pink thread there. So I'll just kind of walk you guys through how I did this, and then I just added, and I'll do a few more pages. This is just as far as I got yesterday. A lot of these are from Karen. Thank you so much, Karen, because these dyed pieces are perfect for this, so I really appreciate those. So thank you for sending them to me. But yeah, I mean, it definitely works, even though it's wonky and stuff. I like it a lot. So if you like that grungy kind of look, that's what we're going to do. You could do the same thing and make it a little more shabby chic. I think that's what I'll do with this one. I'll still do the coffee dyeing and stuff just because I like that look, but I might leave a little bit more of the white or whatever. So how you all doing? I hope you're having a good day. I'm doing pretty good. I mean, I can't complain. I'm just going to cut into that. And yeah, like I said, this particular piece of denim is from a pair of pants. So, the size is what it is. But like I said, if you had a whole, what do you call it, like a yard of it or whatever, you could make it the size that you want. But it's kind of fun. Just, beat it up, add some fabric, add some lace, and just have fun with it. I mean, I don't think, as long as you've got roughly a size that would work as a cover, obviously if it's not like a triangle or something, it's probably going to work just fine. So don't overthink it, because it doesn't need to be overthought at all. And then I just took little bits of lace or, like I said, threads, whatever, and tore them and stuck them in the holes and just haphazardly. And I did not, do any gluing or anything like that. I just kind of laid it all out, and then right before I sewed it, I pinned it, and that's how I did it. But then I went and I just tore different spots. You can make them straight or crooked, or tear them as much as you want or as little as you want, and that way you'll get the effect of ripped and torn and used up. Yeah, this was a pair that she didn't want anymore, and they were pretty torn up. That style now is like, it's like, why bother, really? They're so torn up, but they're the perfect ones to do this with, though, because they do tear well and fray well and all that. Because some of the denim has so much spandex in it now, like a lot of mine. So it doesn't do this very well. So you got to really be mindful of what type of denim you're using, because if it's got too much spandex in it, it won't, it just doesn't do this very well. So yeah, so we're all doing pretty good. We're all getting better. Daughter doesn't have it so far, so I'm very thrilled. I'm hoping she doesn't get it at all. That would be fabulous. I don't know how she got away with that, but great, because it is not fun. And I have days where I feel like super good, and days where I'm just kind of dragging. My biggest problem, honestly, well, like this morning I woke up with a really bad headache. That's been a problem. And then the wooziness, like in the morning, especially when I'm, standing, like doing this kind of thing. Sometimes I just have to go sit down because I just feel all weird, that hot, woozy-y feeling. So, I mean, I really don't feel that bad. Like, I really don't. And the cough, of course, is highly annoying, but I always get real annoyed with coughing. I think everybody does. I didn't do this on the last one, but I just thought, some littler holes might be kind of cool, just for some, texture points. Plus they add a little more interest. You could probably use some type of pokey tool to do this if you don't have nails, want to use your nails, whatever. I just always end up using my nails, but I know it's probably not the best thing in the world for them. But yeah, if you, like, let's see here, do I have my pokey tool and see if that works? I would imagine it would. Just spraying it up. Oops, I almost cut the underneath. Don't really want to do that. Just want to tear it that way. And then I just, like I said, I just stitched all crazy all over it. Just straight stitches, zigzags, whatever you feel like. If you've got a machine that does cool stitches, that would be fun to do. Okay. I probably should do, make this one just a little bit bigger. Fix that in a minute. Yeah, it was cool, the part that already had the tears, but this particular piece didn't. Do one more right here. Okay. Our little piece of lace can go back in here. And maybe some threads. Whatever colors you want. You can make them real bright if you want to, or you can just stick with like neutral type tones, depending on what you want to do with it. I have even just some black thread here. I like the black thread. This is real wiry black thread too. I don't even know what kind this is. It was just given to me, so I'm not really sure, but it works good for this kind of thing, just to have sticking out in places. Okay, and then we're going to use some other laces and things. Tear this a little bit. This is a vintage piece, so it's real fragile. And then I just sort of put some pieces underneath as well that would poke out. It's a piece of this if I can find. This is really pretty lace. Probably going to make everybody sad because I'm going to try to rip it a little bit. And this was gifted to me as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I like to have some pieces hanging out through the tears and that. I just think that ends up looking kind of cool. I'll use some of these blue threads from the denim. Just adds to that frayed effect. Might even add some of this, just this fabric, because it's real thin. And I chose the dish towel, like I said, because I loved the way it frays really well. But you can use, you know, whatever you like. Oh, come on. Usually these old ones just tear like lickety split. You don't even have to hardly do anything. So that's it, really, just adding, adding layers to give you that effect of, torn and layered in lots of pieces. Put that one down here too in a different color because the back is white. And it sews together real easily. I like this sort of, this already looks coffee dyed, and it may be, I don't know. A different Karen sent me this lace. It's just really pretty. But I like how it already looks sort of coffee dyed or whatever. And when I stitch it, sometimes I like, bunch it a little bit underneath there. Got this piece too. This I got at a thrift store. It's just a tank top made out of all this, whatever this stuff is. I like this. I'll take that flower. Trying to figure out which way that. Okay, let's add a little more threads. And a lot of this just gets grabbed up, when you're stitching it. Oh, and I want to thank you guys for all your well wishes. You guys are just so kind and awesome. And I know the prayers help. That is so for sure. I appreciate it. Because it is very scary, as y'all know. I'm sure most everybody's probably had it or known somebody that's had it. And I mean, you just don't know. It's just such a... You just don't ever know what's going to happen. Horrible stuff. I'm going to try to take this piece and, do something like that when I stitch it. Just so it's out a little. Excuse me. I don't want all those threads to look like I just did a, one straight snip across there. I want them sort of different from each other. I definitely like the black thread added. That really gives it something. So I do recommend, even if you're doing something a little more shabby or whatever, that maybe you add a darker bit here and there. Anything that rips and tears real good looks good. This piece. And you can just play with it and figure out, how you want it. But sometimes it's just really good to get a bunch of stuff out, even if it doesn't work necessarily the way you might have originally thought, and just play with some stuff, especially if you're feeling like in a rut, or like you lost your mojo, or whatever you want to call it. Because being sick definitely kind of does that to me. I mean, I think it does it to all of us, because it just zaps our energy, and you need some energy to be creative, that's for sure. So sometimes it just helps to just play with something and not have any preconceived notions of how you think it needs to turn out. You're just playing. And you're just allowing yourself to, do whatever. See how it comes out. Excuse me. That is some tough lace. Maybe I'll turn it this way, even though I think it's supposed to go the other way. It's fine. So it can hang out through that tear in that. Took my son 5 days to test positive for COVID, and I knew he had it because it was the same as me. I took, a long time too. I don't know why. It's so crazy. Like my husband, the very first day he tested, when he very first started having symptoms, he tested positive. But he's been sicker than a dog for days. Says he doesn't feel that bad. He just sounds awful. Oh my gosh. It's amazing. It took us 3 years to get it. And then we all just bang at the same time. But it's pretty virulent, this version of it, however you're supposed to say that. This is so like wiry, it doesn't necessarily stay like you want it. I want to hang out. Just work with me. Okay, add a little more pink. This pink is hard to tell that it's pink. Oh, if I can find it. I must have scooped it up with something. Let's see. I think this. No, that's not it. Okay, well, maybe not. I'm going to grab. Oh, here we go. Here's a piece of it. It got all scooped up in the lace. Can't really tell it's pink. It's very, very, very light pink. Yeah, you can see it though. Need a little something down here more. Yeah, so definitely check out thrift stores. Apologize. Because they're a great place to find like lace shirts and things like that that may, you might not wear or whatever, but they're great for this kind of stuff. What else? What else? At least the good part about this is, even though I've got this cough and all of that, you guys can still hang out with me through YouTube. Because you would definitely not want to be hanging out with me otherwise. It's hot up here today, too. I know it's hot everywhere right now. You guys are like, yeah, preaching to the choir. Preaching to the choir. Okay, do I have all the things that I want? I think I want just a little more black thread. And then the other one, of course, I put a doily on. I don't know if I will on this one. I haven't decided. If I can find one I like, I might. I don't even totally know what I'm going to do with this one, honestly. Okay, so then what I do is just pin it and take it to my sewing machine and sew it. And then after it's sewn, I add the color with the coffee and the watercolor. Oh, I didn't do anything on that one, huh? Let's do... You can tell I'm no seamstress. Okay, so I'm gonna go stitch all that and I will come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, I am back and you can see I have stitched all over this. This is a little kooky up here. I might have to come back and do another little stitch right there to keep that under control. And I do that. I'll go, you know, real close on these edges like I stitched right on this lace right here just to kind of make sure that it stays there. And the next thing we're going to do is put some coffee, and I'll show you this side. I've trimmed a lot of the threads and junk because you can see I just stitch all over the place however I feel like this one I did a lot more circles. On the one I did yesterday I did you know, just more lines. I did the lines on this too, and all I do is stitch forward and then back up and stitch, and you know, nothing fancy. I don't have a sewing machine that does a lot of different stitches. I have a Singer heavy duty and it just does straight stitch and zigzag, so that's what I use. But this one I mostly did straight. I don't know if I'm gonna put another doily on that one. I haven't decided. But anyway, I just wanted you guys to get the idea. You can add anything you want to it. You could add, you know, like a smaller doily here, or, you know, whatever you feel like doing. This is just how I did it. But yeah, you can see I just stitch all over, haphazard. You don't have to be, you know, I am no seamstress, clearly. I do backstitch, you know, to try to make sure that everything stays where it is, but I'm, you know, no professional at it. And it's uneven and all that, but I like it. So that's what I'm going with. If you like it to be more even and you are good at sewing and all that, you could definitely, you know, cut it all to the right size and do all that, and do the same effect if you wanted to. So now I'm just taking some coffee and my little dropper, and you guys have seen me do this stuff before. Oh, hopefully not spray it all over my desk. But just to get that kind of spattery, it does the spattery thing real good when you do that. And then I'll put it out in the sunshine. And I do want to get some on those, you know, some of the edge lace here. And this one I might not do quite as much coffee as I did on the last one, just because I want a little bit more of that white, I think. And then I just flip it over, and you can see it's already coming through on the denim here. Okay, and then I'm going to take my watercolors, and I'm going to use my my tubes because I want a pink, and so I'm going to use red and white. So I think I'll use Scarlet. And these are Arteza 2 watercolors. I just need a little, because a little red goes a long way. And then this is just titanium white. I need just a little more than that. And water. And then I just kind of, you know, spat it on. And you can't see like a ton on the blue, but you can definitely see it there. And that's fine. I don't need, you know, tons and tons of it on the blue part. Kind of just want that, you know, idea that there's pink on there. And this is pretty concentrated, so. Sometimes these big brushes, it's hard to get them to flick very well. I think I might just get some white too. Let me grab that. Set it out of the way, and then I can't find it. Because I thought I was done. It's still gonna get pink because my water's pink. I didn't bring any other water. I can probably use this. It's gonna kind of give that look like bleach, and you probably could do some bleaching, would be cool too. I like watercolor because it's not stiff, like maybe an acrylic would be. And you just get a little color that way. You don't get more than you want, really. Can't do the big brush. Okay, I'm going to turn it over. But if there's other like dyes or stains or whatever that you like using to do these kind of things, then definitely use that. I'm just, you know, using what I like to use. But that doesn't mean you have to use what I'm using. You can use whatever you like. Because the Tim Holtz inks would probably be kind of cool too. Okay. I think that's all I want with that. I don't want it to be super spattered. But with the other one, I did some black paint as well. And, then the coffee and all that. So it came out quite a bit grungier. But I'm liking this look for this particular one. I'm going to snip that. And I may add a little more white to this. My son. Still coughing. Oh, I'm sure we'll all be coughing for a long time to come. Yeah, that stuff is brutal. My husband was doing so much better, and then he came home last night and was not feeling great. So it kind of like, I don't know, got him a little bit. I mean, he's okay, he's at work, but he's just, like, I thought it was gone, because he took the antiviral, and he just pinged right out of it, like, nothing. And, yeah, so that was a little weird when he came home last night, and he was not feeling very good. I think it just takes it out of you. I mean, I've heard that too, so, but, yeah, it's kind of brutal. And then what I'll do is go set it out in the sun. The sun always makes the coffee, kind of more. But yeah, that's kind of how I do it. And of course, you can do more, less, different colors, whatever you feel like doing. I would consider trying some bleach, depending on the denim that you have. But yeah, it's really a lot of fun, and I don't think it needs to be super rigid, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to feel like, oh, I didn't get that straight, or I mean, obviously, look at the hot mess I have. But I just think they're fun covers to make, and then you have, a soft cover, which is great. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope it's not too weird, but anyway, and I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I love you guys, and we'll chat again soon. Bye now.